Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and we finally got our first in-depth look of not only what story missions, aka PvP, if you want to call it that, is gonna look like, but we're also gonna be seeing what hero mastery looks like, and more importantly, what I'm most excited about, the brand new game mode Flashpoint and how it's gonna play. First, let's talk about what is always the talk of the town when it comes to Overwatch, most commonly dunking on Overwatch 2, and its PvE mode. Now, for those that aren't aware, story missions or PvE is going to be coming out in Season 6, along with all of this stuff that we talk about, but when it comes to the story missions, we already know that we're going to be getting 3 story missions that take place on New Queen Street, in Gothenburg, and also Rio. Rio, I won't spend too much time on because you've seen it countless times either in my videos or in other content creators' videos because it was literally the first playable PvE mission available in 2019. You can play as Lucio, as Tracer, as Reinhardt, and as Mei, and you know, you just go through the streets of Paraiso. And it's a fun mission for what it is, but again, what I really want to focus on are the 2 other missions that we're going to be getting in Season 6. But then when we get to Gothenburg, we really get to expand on Torbjorn's story because this is where Torbjorn gets to shine with him and his lore. Now, for the most part in this live stream, they're not going to spoil the story or really even go in depth with the story because that's the whole point of playing the story missions is for you to experience the story. But in terms of the gameplay, you know, it's very simple. It's similar to like the PvE missions that we've experienced before, just with a little bit more enemies and a little bit more in depth with the objective. But in terms of the maps, these are way bigger than the maps that we've ever experienced in PvP. They're like triple in size or something like that. Like, they're ginormous. They're supposed to house a story mission that we typically find in single player missions like in Halo and whatnot. And the other sad reality is that this isn't gonna be a free experience. You are gonna have to pony up some money to be able to play the story missions at least firsthand. You of course can watch someone like me or anybody else play the story missions and probably still experience the story the same way rather than just spending money, but the only way to get story missions is either spend $15 on the basic pack where you get 3 missions, which is Rio and Gothenburg and New Queen Street, or spend $40 and get the premium package where you not only get the 3 story missions but also the battle pass and skins and all that kind of stuff. I made a whole entire video talking about the details and the microtransactions in a very negative light, but if you want to go check that video out after this video, you can to hear more about the details. And the other thing that is somewhat PvE/story mission related are the co-op events. Now, the way that these are different compared to story missions is that these aren't going to be telling canonic stories. You think of The Bride of Junkenstein, where that was a co-op PvE experience, but it wasn't necessarily telling a canon story from the Overwatch universe, whereas story missions do that. And the whole idea behind co-op events or co-op missions is that you're supposed to play them after the story missions because these are supposed to provide a replayable PvE experience just without the story, where you play with your friends, you fight waves of enemies, and you just have a fun time playing a different variety of heroes that fight different enemies, different than how you would not only in story missions but also in PvP. But alongside story missions and co-op events is going to be this thing called Hero Mastery. This is going to be a separate free mode that comes out in the middle of Season 6, not the beginning, which I think is a very stupid decision, but hey, I don't work at Blizzard. And what Hero Mastery is all about is basically an obstacle course designed around a specific hero's kit. So for an example, someone like Mercy, you're going to be challenged when it comes to using your Guardian Angel and flying across the map, using your pistol to shoot bots, shoot sniper bots, shoot shield bots, shoot tank bots, shoot all different kinds of bots, which I also forgot to mention, there's brand new bots now in not only Hero Mastery, but also in Overwatch 2. You're also meant to collect coins, try to res enemies, and shoot exploding gas tanks to try to kill even more enemies. Again, it's an obstacle course that's designed around a hero's kit. And when this comes out in the middle of Season 6, there's going to be a course release for Mercy, Reinhardt, Winston, Tracer, and Sojourn. And that's it. Those are the only 5 heroes. And I know a lot of people get frustrated by that because, well, when you look at the map, there's nothing to it. There's no design. It's just empty boxes and bots placed in specific areas and coins randomly scattered out. It's like Mario Maker, just without the fun colors. So why can't they make even more heroes? And your guess is as good as mine. Like, maybe it truly is hard to make an obstacle course, not only for all 37 heroes, but also make 3 separate tracks for every single hero, because there's going to be an easy, medium, and hard difficulty when it comes to these hero mastery modes. So Mercy is going to have 3 obstacle courses, Reinhardt is going to have 3, Winston's going to have 3. So in total, there's going to be 15 different hero mastery modes or courses for all 5 of those heroes that first get introduced introduced in Season 6. And you might be wondering, well, what's the whole point of playing Hero Mastery other than just trying to get a new high score? Like, the faster you complete it, the better the score that you get. Well, the better score that you get earns you rewards for being able to show off that you completed this specific Hero Mastery mode. So if you really want to show off to your friends that you're a god tier Mercy player, well, you better complete her hardest difficulty in the fastest time ever to be able to earn that reward, so you can flex to people like, yeah, I completed this Hero Mastery challenge. And I also still need to get laid, but hey, that's besides the point. Look, this isn't supposed to take over PvP or even PvE. It's just supposed to be a fun, high-score mode that possibly speedrunners can get a hold of and try to optimize the best routes and time for each and every single hero. Like, I truly think those are the people that are gonna have the most fun with this mode. But if you only want to play PvP, you can rest knowing that you're still gonna be satisfied when the brand new core game mode Flashpoint comes into Season 6. And that's right, you heard me right. This is another core game mode of the likes of Push, Control, and Hybrid. This is going to be a new competitive mode that is very similar to Control game modes in Overwatch 2, but is also with a mixture of Hardpoint from Call of Duty. Let me explain how it works. So when Flashpoint launches, they're going to launch with two maps. Servasa, which takes place in India, and Junker City, which takes place in, like, Australia, but really Junkertown. And the way that they structure these maps is what they're calling a quasi-symmetrical map. That's just a fancy word for saying a very symmetrical map with 4 points, 4 key areas. And when you load onto either one of these maps, the objective is that you have to go and capture one of the points and get that capture percentage to 100%. Very similar to Control. However, where it's different is that if your team takes control of the point and you get to 100% before the enemy team, you then get the point. And it's going to be a first to 3 capture points wins. So just because you capture the very first point, you then gotta go and capture another point. And this is where it gets very similar to Hardpoint from Call of Duty, where if you capture the first point, the point is then gonna rotate to a different part of the map. Again, it's a quasi-symmetrical map, so it's a very even map, but they're gonna move to a different corner. And then after you capture that point to 100%, it's gonna move to a different part of the map, and then you gotta get to another 100%. That's the basic rundown of Flashpoint. Again, I'll make a separate video talking about the percentage time and how long the game modes will last and how quasi-symmetrical maps will work, but I'm very excited for Flashpoint because I absolutely loved Hardpoint in Black Ops 2. I thought it was actually the best game mode in that game, so seeing it in Overwatch 2, I think is going to be very interesting considering, okay, well, are fast heroes like Tracer and Soldier and Diva and Winston going to be more favorable, or are more stationary heroes like Reinhardt and Sigma going to be more favorable? You know, you gotta really think about a different meta strat when it comes to this game mode. But the final thing that I want to talk about that I thought was kind of like the least interesting part about the live stream is this thing called player progression. Basically, it's your career profile that shows how good you are at a hero. So for someone like me, May, I'm gonna really show off how far I've progressed as May because that's really one of the few heroes that I pour my heart and soul into. So on my profile, but also right next to my name, there's gonna be a badge that shows up that shows how good I am with that hero the more I play with it. And it's not only just for my main, it's also with the other heroes I play like Soldier 76 and Diva and Moira and heroes like that. Again, while this is really cool if you want to flex how much of a loser you are when it comes to playing a specific hero, it's still something that people care about. Like me, I want to show off how good I am with May. I want to prove like, hey, I'm not no scrub when it comes to May. Put some respect on my name. It's still something that's like, well, we have the career profile and people don't care how good you are with a hero. They only care how bad you are with a hero based on how bad you're doing in a game and how much hours you have with that hero. But as of right now, that's everything that's going to be coming out in Season 6, and I want to know what you're most hyped about. For me, I'm hyped about Hero Mastery, but also Flashpoint. When it comes to PvE, well, it's coming out, man, finally. But let me know what you think about everything, and I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.